what happened yesterday at Ghanudi, rather than calling it an incident, I would prefer to call it atrocities towards the local residents of Ghanudi. How you look at it?
See, this is something that we have been seeing for a very, very long time. This is something which my husband fought against, and this is what I continue to do. Before 2019, the atrocities, the level of atrocities, you can't even imagine. They used to fire at people openly, beat them openly, do something about it. But from past 4 years, they have not been able to do something like that. So this is now regarding the upcoming elections, where they fund certain people who are interested in contesting the elections. Now, these people are their puppets. So they have been advised by them to do something of this sort so they can disturb the peaceful environment around. Because, when there is, people are not satiated and people are not satisfied with what is happening and there is no peace around, people will be thinking about switching over in elections. So this is exactly what their plan is. And this particular outsourcing agency which works has n number of complaints. I can't even imagine, I can't even tell you how many. Every week there is a complaint. They flout the rules like anything. DGMS, they don't even listen to DGMS. I don't know what BCCL does. BCCL acts more like their agent than working for the company, for their own self or for the people. Central government is quiet in this. No one is saying anything about it. The issue with Jharia is about displacement, and not just Jharia. I'm talking about Bagmara also. I'm talking about Nirsa also. I'm talking about some parts of Sindri also. I'm talking in general, if you look at Jharkhand, I'm talking in general that displacement is Visthapan is the biggest issue that we talk about here. Now, what has happened is that there was forceful displacement before 2019. Now, they used to force people, and the only way to force people was out of atrocities, that you cut their electricity or devoid them of their water supply. That's how they would force. Or if that doesn't work, they will start beating them up or forcing them, with brutality to move somewhere else without giving them anything. It is for the first time in history that when we came into power, we made sure that if you have to do the displacement, it has to be very respectful. And we will try our best. We will work. We won't work as people who will just look for the interest. I will look for the interest of BCCL also, because they have the duty to do. Some people are involved there. They have employment also. So we tried our best in these 4 years that there is not much of friction. But then there are certain people in Jharia who always try to bring in the friction. And that is what I think the water has gone up now. Too much of it is. So that is what we planned to do it.
My point of concern is, ma'am, every mining activity has to be guided by some basic safety norms which are being laid down by DGMS. But if these outsourcing companies are not abiding by those laws, why BCCL administration is not taking strict actions against these companies? They are keeping on giving tenders to these companies.
We have been informing and writing to DGMS and to BCCL n number of times. I mean, in my tenure of these 4.5 years, I have seen now approximately 4 CMDs. And more or less everyone is the same. I don't understand why BCCL is not able to control where they given the money.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there is certain level of corruption, and I accuse BCCL of that, and I accuse openly BCCL of that. There is certain level of corruption that everyone is involved in. That's why they are not able to do what they should be doing it. For DGMS, I'm again saying it's a central agency. BCCL is a central agency. It's a subsidiary of central government. So somewhere central government is failing. If they are not able to do this respectfully, then somewhere they are failing, and they want the coal. That's it. But they don't want to listen about the people who are suffering. So how can these two things go hand in hand? They can't. If you have to take the coal, well and good, take it. And people don't. Yesterday, whatever happened, they've always cooperated. I'm telling you, there was never a friction. But once there is a problem and they are complaining, you can't hit them, you can't beat them, you can't shoot at them.
Definitely.
And this is what they thought, that this is the Jharia of before 2019, where they would be doing anything, and they will be dealing with the way they want to. But they have forgotten that this is not the Jharia of before 2019. This is me standing here, and I will do everything possible to make sure that this is not repeated. If they are going to do it again, I will also do certain things. And I'm happy to inform you that 2 people have been arrested since yesterday. And I think this is going to teach them some way or the other a lesson.
If you look back at 4.5 years, you being MLA of Jharia, your tenure has been flawless, exceptional. You have raised every issue of Jharia in assembly. You have looked into every minute problem of the people of Jharia. Do you think this kind of disruptions, which disrupts peace in Jharia, will have an impact in the upcoming elections?
Yes, certainly it will have an impact. The point is, these disruptions that are made, they are made with this point only. They've been doing it for a very long time, in different sectors. And I'll tell you the areas that they will be doing it. Especially yesterday, we gave a notice that till the time, these people are arrested, we are not going to let the project, work there. And if it is not happening, we are going to close the projects in other areas also, like Bohra, Lodna also. So yes, they will impact. As I told you, people want peace. People want environment where there is less of friction. See, those people who were hit yesterday, they know that they will be displaced. They are ready for it. It's not that they don't know it, but then there is certain respect that they need. The way they are dealt with, that is not right. And I fight against the way. I also know there will be displacement. I also know it's not safe for them to stay there for a very long time because it's a very fire-prone area. And so I know, but all they need is some due respect that they want. And I have been assuring that. There have been major incidents of people. He's been killing people by dumping OBs over them. He's not ready to pay for their treatment. He's not ready to pay for the compensation. I will tell you, there was a 6-year-old girl who died in Ludna, and she's not paid compensation, and they tried to manage the family somehow because they dumped the OB on her. Somehow we got to get the 6 lakh of compensation there. Then one of them happened in Bohra. They tried to manage the family, and the people who are politically affiliated with them also try and manage it because it is of their interest. They might be getting something out of it. I'm so sure about it. So this is all that is happening. And Jharia has been, also Jharia is why politically important, because it is the only place which is not with BJP right now. Rest all the assemblies are, and it is the center. It was Dhanbad. Original Dhanbad is Jharia only.
Definitely.
And every route goes back to that place. So Jharia is like the route, and everyone wants to capture it so that they can be politically motivated. But my thing is not that. I'm not doing politics for political motives because I don't have one. The political motives could be of thinking about the family, of the stature that everyone wants to maintain. I came here for, the justice of my husband, which is still due. And I will continue to fight for it and for my people just the way he did. Till the time I don't get justice, because that's a long fight that I have to fight. And people are politically motivated. I am just motivated by the justice that I want for my husband. And I will continue to serve because I don't have anyone else. I don't have children. I don't have a husband. People look forward and they want to do it for their own families, and they want to maintain the political stature, and they want to say that I have the certain lineage to do so. I think I am not one person who wants to continue with the lineage. I think politics is something which comes, you don't have to follow through the families. If it happens, good. If it doesn't happen, I am not going to force anyone to be in the politics.
Ma'am, being the person you are, we all know that you are pretty much vocal. Ma'am, these local police stations, these local administrations, everything is crystal clear. These brutalities or these atrocities are going on for numerous years, I think. Why they are not taking necessary action against the culprits?
See, that is exactly what yesterday's event boiled down to. Now, there have been sporadic events of these atrocities in different parts of Jharia. And I'm not saying Jharia, if you go to Baghmara, it's evident, it's all over the papers. In past 5 years, I am asking you as a journalist to compare what happened in Baghmara to what happened in Jharia. Please compare it and let me know.
Definitely, we are seeing it.
Events have been there, but the point is that people of Dhanbad have not been informed because that is not a part of Dhanbad Lok Sabha and it is somewhere else. Jharia is right in the center, so everyone talks about Jharia, and then if you compare the number of events, it's very less. So And the point is that the way I have been working for Jharia people, it's about infrastructure. You talk about infrastructure, or you talk about any kind of help if people are ill, or you talk about anything that is related to the government. Our government got down to giving away, last year I got 1200 pensions sanctioned, and overall I've got more than 7000 pensions sanctioned in past 4.5 years, taking the corona period also in. And the government has been doing a good job in terms of, social security schemes. And that is one thing that is impacting people a lot. So what is their way to disrupt it? For health, there was not a single hospital in Jharia. I'm talking about government hospital. I'm not even talking about anything else. I've been getting that. And then we've been doing different infrastructural works and we've been helping people. But I think some people are not able to digest it. And this is the right time to do it because, people's memory will be fresh that something like this has happened and they will be remembering it in coming elections. So I am assuring that they will try to do something like this in coming times. And I've been asking everyone to be very, very attentive of whatever is happening.
Ma'am, by your own admission, the water has risen above the head. Now you are into it. And you will be seeing it that the people of Ghanudi will get justice this time. So ma'am, what is your future planning?
I'm very attentive regarding this. I'm not going to let this particular company disrupt, the peace that is there. There was an incident in Barari. There was an incident in, where he blocked the road. I literally got the machine myself. I paid the person to get that road because I got road from DMFT. Yes. The kind of infrastructural work that I've done to the places where there was not a single road, I got the roads done there. And then, in the name of this scheme of BCCL that we have to have this is in the cut area of the project, this is my wasted land and everything. I said, no wonder what you have to do. I am not against BCCL working, but their way of working has to change. And I have made sure that it changes. You can't force people to just get out and leave what they have.
There are certain norms to be followed.
Yes, and we've been working very hard for the displacement also. We've worked very hard for Jharia Rehabilitation Development Authority work also. And this was in this tenure, it was for the first time that people representatives were called to give the inputs, and central government is changing a lot of things in that as to how the compensation should be made and who should be given their houses. What is the survey? Because the problem was that they were considering the survey of 2004 and 2009, wherein it is 2024, or when we were discussing it, it was 2021. And that 10-year gap, the number of people who were supposed to be displaced just doubled. So we spoke about that also as to how this can change, how you can bring down the survey to 2018. So more and more number of people will be displaced. Plus, we also talk about how, wherever they are displaced, either they are given money or if they are planning to ship them to Belgadia, then what you have to do is you have to think about the livelihood. So the thing about why people are sticking to Sharia is the sole reason is the livelihood.
Definitely,
the coal is just not giving livelihood to BCCL. It's giving to normal people also. A town is thriving. The whole town of Jharia is more than 100 years old and it has thrived. And people from all over the country. I'm saying Jharia is like a cauldron which you have people from all the sects of the country coming down there. You have a Marwadi community, you have a Gujarati community, you have a Sikh community, you have a Rajput community, you have a Sao community, a Baniya community. Everyone thrived there, everyone lived there. And a minority is good amount of minority is there because that town thrived on the coal which was there, and everyone somehow was related to it, and that's how everyone earned. Now if you take that one basic thing, and if you give them the house, there's no point. So the livelihood was one thing. So they planned that we will now make it a smart city. Smart city doesn't mean it is going to be technologically very advanced. It's basically it's more like where there will be good roads, you will have schools, you will have a hospital. So that is under the pipeline, which is going to be on floor very soon. So all these things basically, I don't know why, because they did not involve representatives, so no one was able to tell them. And this whole the bureaucracy, how it handled it, wasn't the right thing. because bureaucracy is not chosen by the people, it's the representatives who are chosen by the people. And I'm assuring you, if I have to take steps like yesterday, again and again, I'll do it every day. But I'll make sure that the peace of Jharia is not disturbed.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving us time.